Hi, these are video diaries that I'm going to start doing for YouTube. They are my stories that I've had as a cab driver for the last 2 years. I've been a cab driver for 4.5, but about 2 years ago I decided to keep a diary. Um, Mostly nothing much happens on a regular basis, but occasionally something does happen of note and I write it down. These stories could range from picking up a celebrity to a little chat with someone that was interesting, revealed a little secret, or could be something as big as my car catching fire and being on the news the next day. Hope you enjoy. There'll be many more to come, and I'll number them. Thank you. Tonight it was quite a quiet night, typical Monday, and I found myself wandering around the back streets looking for work because it wasn't happening on the main streets. I saw a group of people outside the Embassy Club in Old Burlington Street, just off of Regent Street, and so I thought I'd have a look down there. And I was flagged down by an elderly gent, maybe mid 70s, and I don't know. The best way I could describe him was he was dressed as if he should have been out hunting with Prince Philip. I mean, the only thing he was missing was a shotgun draped over his wrist. I was a bit apprehensive at first. I thought, oh, might be old school. Why are you going this way? Why are you going that way? But he didn't say a word all the way. I used my no traffic light route going through Belgrave Square, South Eaton Place, and bottom of Sloane Square. When we got there, he said, "Very good driving." And then he said, "I mean that in the nice way." It was very odd, but it was nice coming from him. It was nice to meet people like that. He looked a bit like Alan Wicker. Anyway, later on, I picked up an Italian chap from Regent Street area again, and he worked on one of the big stores on Oxford Street. We got chatting about Italy, and he comes from Rome, and I asked him, did he know about the scam that happened a few months ago involving the traffic lights in Rome, where there'd been the timings had been adjusted, so the authorities had raked in like 200 million euros in fines, and several police officers had been arrested, but he didn't know anything about that. But this led on to us talking about mafias, and I said mafia, and he said, well, there's more than one. There's about 4. And he said, did you hear about the rubbish problem in Naples? And I went, I heard about the rubbish piling up high. And he said, well, what that was big businesses, big corporations didn't want to pay any tax. So what they would do is they'd pay a smaller amount to the mafia in Naples, and they would just take the rubbish and dump it on the streets. Incredible. I told him that I really enjoy the way Italians drive, because they don't mess about. On the motorway, if you're coming up behind them, they get out of the way, and you should do the same. And he said, when you're at a traffic light, you never get anybody wait more than half a second without beeping their horn as soon as the lights change. I thought, if only people in England could be like that. Oh yes, and the 2 young Australians from outside the walkabout on Shaftesbury Avenue, just wearing jeans and scruffy t-shirts and hair all over, loads of hair and beards, and just basically looking very unkempt. And as one person told me once, the Australians, a lot of the men are very feral. Anyway, they got in and they were arguing, you beeping beep beep. I obviously can't say the words, but you beeping this and you beeping that. Look, you're my best friend, but you're a beeping beeper. And he was saying, I can't believe you said that. To basically what had happened was these guys were best friends, and one of them had become friends with 3 other people, and he'd said something nasty about them, and they were standing right behind him, and he heard, and he was trying to deny he didn't actually say that. And they're swearing at each other. I said, look, I'm going to punch you. He said, okay, punch me and I'll shake your hand. What? And but they were just swearing all the way back, and it was just, they were apologizing to me, but it was hilarious. I just thought, don't break out into fisticuffs in the back of my cab. But it was a good laugh, and yeah.